this is a sort of a vision concept, but for the first time ever, I'm going to ask you to take out your computers and get on Facebook in a classroom. Like literally, if you have a computer here, this is an interactive talk. Or if you have a phone, you can do that also. What I want to do right now is step you forward in creating your vision. Okay? So, how am I going to do that? I'm going to start talking about whether or not you feel as though you're prepared. Do you feel as though you're prepared for when you leave here? Do you feel as though, you know what, I'm going to go out, I'm going to start a chiropractic office as soon as I get out of here. As soon as I get my license, I'm going to open the doors. I'm going to go into an association. Have you started to think about these kind of things? Have you even thought about how when your last paycheck will be from the school? I call it a paycheck because you're just getting money for studying. That's great. But do you know when that last paycheck will be and how long that has to last you for? Have you thought about the fact that you need to start saving now for that gap between when you start working and when you finish school? Because there may be a little gap there. You don't get your license straight away. You've thought about whether or not you want to do a preceptorship. All of these things are really important. And they're sort of to engage you a little bit as I talk. But the first thing that I really want to talk to you about is actually your business. Put your hands up if you have a plan of running a chiropractic office one day. I'm not saying right away, but that's pretty much everyone in the room. Alright, put your hands up if you have a name for that chiropractic business. It just came to you one night. And you just, you're there and it's like, yeah, this is going to be it. It's about 3 people, that's great. And of those 3 people, do you have a Facebook page for that business? Do you have a web page for that business? And the reason is, why not? Because you can start it now. No one will ever know about it, but you're going to start to create a history. So my whole talk today is about creating a social media presence. So I will flip through so we get to things. But what I want you to start to think about is a name for your chiropractic practice. For those that haven't got a name, this is really important. The reason it's really important is not so you can market yourself, but so you can attach to it. Okay? When you attach to something, everything you learn in school is going to be so much more meaningful. So you're sitting there in class and it's a business class. I've got a black notice for a second. It's not. It's just running. Everything you learn in school is really important, right? But you sit there and you're like, wow, that's a great idea. Where am I going to put that? You put it on your computer under a file that says creating my own business or building my... What is the name of your business? Every time you have that name and you attach to it, all of this information is going to start to sink in and prepare you more for when you leave college. Do you understand that? Kind of makes sense, right? You have to apply information to something you already know for it to sink in. It's the way the brain works. Anyway. So, you need a name, you need a web page, you need a Facebook page, and you need to start working out how you're going to make resources available to people. Okay. When is the best time to create this social media presence? The best time to create this presence is right now. The reason for that is that there's 2 reasons. One is that the way Google works, the internet works, is when somebody types in chiropractic in Morro Bay, they're going to get the one that's going to come up is either they've paid for it, so you're going to make a lot of money, and you're going to be first there, or you've been around longer, and more people have been clicking on your web page, so it goes up in the hit list, it goes up in the ranking. So if your Facebook page, your web page has been around for 3-4 years, before you even graduate, the moment you get out there, they're like, oh, chiropractor, I think his name was Josh in Morro Bay. You know, you're going to go ahead and get straight up to the top there, maybe just underneath those rankings. It's kind of cool. The second reason you want to start this social media presence is, are you practicing right now putting out information into the public? Are you looking at articles? Are you providing information to people out there? Because if you're not, when's the first time you're going to do that? When you're in practice? That's the first time that you might make a mistake where a practice member looks at it and goes, oh, really? Is that what they just posted? That was the first thing they came up with? Maybe they go onto your Facebook page and they're like, wow, this has been around since 2015 and that's it? I don't know if they're really that good a chiropractor. I want them with some experience. So maybe there's 4 or 5 years of experience there. And all of this starts to back up. Once you're in practice, you've got it all rolling, so what? People will know who you are, you'll be amazing. But what we really need is we need Life West chiropractors out there in the social media world. We need them dominating all the other chiropractors, right? Okay, no, I don't know. Maybe that's too much. So, let me continue on. Those are the 2 reasons. Create a history with Google. Practice being a professional source of health-related information. So what does that mean? You are going to source information from other people and post it on your own page. You don't have to write it, but you do need to start disseminating this information. Okay, so web page. What are you going to do? You're going to buy a web page. You're going to go to GoDaddy.com. You can write this down because this isn't just me practicing a talk, even though I am just practicing talk. But this is actually something you can do right now for your future. So you go to GoDaddy.com or you can go to Weebly.com. Personally, I would buy the webpage off GoDaddy and then use Weebly.com to create a webpage. As soon as he graduated, he posted this up. Had he have done it a year earlier, he could have then started to incorporate and practice a little bit more what he was posting on his webpage. Okay, so this is Dr. Brendan Riordan. He graduated last year, one of the most lovable people in this entire college, right? Anyone who knew him? Great guy. And so this is a Weebly.com page. The way it works is you sign up with an account, and it's completely free, but the free one has a Weebly page written down the bottom, not that big, but it's a little Weebly powered thing, right? Like WordPress or something like that. You can pay $30 a year to have that taken off so it looks more professional. Pretty simple. But this is one, this is another one. I really like this one. This is a student who's kind of like an entrepreneur. He likes to sell everything and anything, even though he makes only $2 a month. But the whole deal is he's starting to get himself out there. Okay, so he's selling sincerity models, face cloths, blocks, all the rest of it. And he went onto Weebly.com and created this page, Armour Chiropractic. Now I look at it, I don't like it, honestly. Like the words are too small, they're not clear, they don't pump out. But guess what? I made a mistake. Imagine if I had done that when that was my practice and that was my office. You know what I mean? People would get on there and like, I'm not really too sure I like that page. What is he really about, you know? And so I've had this up and running for 1.5 years, 2 years now, and I've been getting feedback. I go ahead and, you know, like Tez Malloy in our office, he goes, hey, I saw that you had a webpage, I checked it out, and he gave me this advice straight away. And I was like, oh, I could be really, you know, like self-conscious about this and think, oh, I'm putting myself out there. But that's gonna happen at one point in your life, right? It's gonna happen. So when's the time to do that? When you're a student. No one's gonna judge you for getting it wrong at this point. I mean, they might, but screw them. We're students. So, secondly, Facebook page. I'm keeping it really simple for you today. Get a name, get a web page, get a Facebook page, okay? Facebook's going to be really great in this environment. And the reason behind that is that we are here to support each other, okay? And the way that we're going to support each other is we're going to make a page. So what might that page look like if you're a student? Well, this is actually a doc who graduated from New Zealand, and this is her Simply Chiropractic page. She has, I mean, what's the deal with the likes? 268 likes. There's 268 people that whenever she posts something, it's going onto their feed, okay? Now you have to invite people to like your page, but in this community where we have 350 people, if we all liked each other's information, it would bump whatever we post to a higher level in our other social networks. Does that make sense? So you may have come into this college with knowing 500 people on Facebook, okay? And then you know 40 people here. But let's just say those 40 people like what you post up and they share what you post up, then it goes out to your other peoples, okay? Your other Facebook friends. And then they go, oh, chiropractic. Now this is a really important point because, so before I go into that, your Facebook page could look like this, Jake Van Winkle. Like when he posted this up, I was like, yes, that's what students should be doing. Any student who is starting to create this is really starting to think ahead. Because here's the deal, as soon as he graduates this, he can just change this from Jake Van Winkle chiropractor to chiropractor. You can just change the name of your page. So no matter what it is right now, you can change it later. Pretty helpful, right? So you can get people liking it, you can get people doing stuff. TikTokers, have they got a Facebook page? Right. Right, that'd be cool. Yeah. Okay, so 32 likes. Better than no likes, right? You need a minimum of 30 to start getting Facebook to record history for you, and it'll record your reach, it'll record how far you're going. Why do I care about this? Because, you know, I'm a really philosophical person. I love chiropractic. I want to adjust, I want to do all that sort of stuff, but I want everyone for that to be as easy as possible for people, so they don't have to start thinking about business stuff, so there's this big daunting process when they graduate. They've already started to think about this. They've already got a name that they attach to, and when someone goes, apply this to your business, straight away you're on your webpage and you're updating information that a guest speaker is coming to talk to. It's exactly what I did last year when a guy came in and I was sitting in on an upper quarter class. It was brilliant. Okay, so Jake Van Winkle, what are you going to do with your Facebook page? Do you know how many hundreds of thousands of pictures there are going around? And these pictures are just awesome. Every time I just right-click on it and then press Save to Downloads. And then I take that picture and put it in a file called Chiropractic Slides. It's going to play over in my office. Maybe it'll switch every hour. But there's going to be awesome slides that are coming up in my office. But until then, I'm going to post one a week on my Facebook page. So if you want those pictures, you're going to like my Facebook page, and then you're going to steal my pictures. Please steal them. Don't repost them. Don't reshare them. Download them and then repost them so they come out as yours. What happens then? Someone who isn't even related to chiropractic is, you know, all of a sudden they're like, oh my god, that's really funny. So they press like, they press share, and it says, like Armo Chiropractic's photo. As though I took this picture. I didn't take this picture. I just stole it off someone else, right? So that's what we need to start doing to each other. And all of a sudden you'll be like, oh my god, Facebook's going to suck. There'll be 500 people posting the same picture. But you know what? We're here to help each other. And as soon as you leave this college, it's a whole new world. That bubble, it's not there anymore. You need to create your own community that you're reaching out to. So you might post something like this, reasons to co-sleep. Maybe you had an award-winning recipe for muffins, and you want to post that up because they're so healthy. Okay, alright. Yeah. So, you need to get comfortable posting on the internet. If you came from a world where you were this hardcore, heavy metal person, and you were like, oh my god, come check out this band, they're going to be, you know, ripping chickens' heads off and stuff, and you put that stuff on your Facebook, you need to transition to a place where it's like, alright, I'm a professional chiropractor. You know, you think about the first time something chiropractic was posting, you're like, do I share this on my page? I don't know, what will people think, you know, like, am I this hardcore chiropractic, you know, like, warrior now? Am I going out there? And so a really easy way to balance is have professional, personal. Personal, professional. Professional over here is posting all this chiropractic research. You're getting people who like your opinion because they care about chiropractic. Okay. Oh, one last little tidbit. You can get free business cards. I rocked up here the first quarter and someone's like, oh, can I get your number? I was like, yeah, I got a business card. And they're like, what a wanker. You know what I mean? Like, who carries a business card around? Like, that just doesn't make any sense. If it was like, but they were free. I was like, why not? Every seminar I go to, every conference I go to, Doc's like, oh, I really got to get information, let's get information. So, you know, I just go, here's my card, and they go, that person's got a card. Even though someone goes, even though we as students kind of ridicule that a little bit, and we kind of go, they're just a student and they've got business cards, it's like, yeah, but they don't care. They're really pushing themselves forward, so by the time they get out of here, they are prepared to interact in that way. You know, have you ever handed over your business card before and thought, there's my business? You know what I mean? It's like, it can be a daunting thing if you've never done it before. If it's just real comfortable, oh, here you go. You know, not a big deal. Get used to it. Start it now in college, training ground, right? Okay, so it could look like this. Anybody notice you have a card? Isn't it beautiful? I love it. You know, it's this beautiful hand with this light coming out. The picture's not really that great. But, you know, this was off Vistaprint. We could all get this exact same print. It doesn't really matter, right? I think it's pretty beautiful. Alright, this is another web page. You know, Blooming Chiro. This is a chiropractic student who's like, I'm just going to create a web page from my experience through chiropractic. And anything she comes across, she goes ahead and she writes it up. Great idea, right? Okay, so here's what you can do right now on your computers. If you're still on Facebook and you haven't sort of totally tuned out, you can go to Armo Chiropractic, you can press like, and I don't really care if you press like or not, but then you'll get pictures that I post up that you can then steal, download, and then repost. Okay? That's my whole purpose, is to make you guys, give you guys as many resources as possible. There's another one, Chiropractic Research Alliance, I think it's called. And on that Research Alliance, you're going to go ahead and, you know, get research from them and then repost it once you're in your practice. You know what? You don't have to be sitting there as a chiropractor at night, you know, thinking of all your patients, trying to find them. You can get your CA to find your patients for you and get them, invite them to like your page. So now information dissemination, less education in the office, more education in their world. They start to expand their atmosphere and your influence starts to grow higher and higher. So I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much.